Hello, good morning, everyone. Uh, I am Dr. Arpita, Assistant Professor, Adamas University, Department of Biotechnology. In today's session, I'm going to discuss on a topic which is a trending as well as emerging field under the umbrella of biotechnology, and that is none other than bioprocess technology. Now, bioprocess technology is a fascinating field that involves using living cells such as bacteria, yeast, and other microorganisms to produce valuable products. Now, you can understand that the teeny tiny microorganisms, those are being utilized for a production of a very valuable product to help the mankind. Like from pharmaceutical technology, food production to environmental solutions, bioprocess technology plays a crucial role in creating sustainable and efficient process. Now we need to understand few terminology. I'm going to discuss them later. Now we are going to discuss the bioprocess technology, its applications, what are the pros and cons, and what are the requirement or basic knowledge you need to gather before you start with bioprocess technology. Okay. So first of all, we are going to discuss, okay, let me share my screen with you. I hope the screen is visible to you. So I'm going to discuss about these things like bioprocessing. What is bioprocessing? How many types of bioprocessing are there? What are the basic applications of bioprocessing? And what are the applications? As well as if you perform bioprocessing in an industry, what are the possible challenges you need to face and how to solve those problems in an innovative manner? Along with that, we need to understand that today the era is all about innovation. So how we can put innovation in bioprocessing to get a good or more beneficial product, which is more acceptable towards mankind. Okay. So these topics we are going to discuss along with these slides. Okay. Now, bioprocess technology involves living cells. I hope that this point is clear to everyone that bioprocess technology requires living cells. Now, living cells can be, yes, microorganism. They can be bacteria, that can be protozoa, that can be algae, fungi, anything. Along with that, it can be animal cells to carry out specific processes. So that result in the production of valuable products or desired outcome. So it's like this process should be done synchronized manner to get an end product. So why it is called bioprocess? Bio means microorganism or animal cells. That means biological product, and there should be certain chronological processing. So step-by-step processing should be done, and at the end, we are going to have the best end product, which will be helpful for mankind. So this is known as bioprocess. And why technology? Because to do this thing in a small scale, it's okay. But if you do it in a large manner, you have to acquire different technology. Some engineering technology, some computational technology, all of these things are required for a successful, huge or large scale product. So bioprocessing is a mixture of all these things. So to perform a good industry, good bio-based processing industry, you need to gather the knowledge of biology as well as engineering along with certain part of chemistry. So these are the basic key role player of bioprocess technology. Now, the primary aim of this bioprocess technology is to harness the natural abilities of the living cells or living organism to achieve the commercial as well as practical objectives. Okay, so we are going to discuss about some key aspects of bioprocess technology. Some key aspects of bioprocess technology includes microbial fermentation. Like we are going to utilize microorganism so that microorganism can be capable to produce many things. As an example, I can take an example of Penicillium notatum. It has a capability to produce penicillin, the most used antibiotic. So the most used antibiotic is Penicillium notatum, penicillin, and which has been produced by a microorganism, fungi named Penicillium notatum. So antibiotics, different enzymes, different biofuels can be produced using microbial fermentation technology. Okay. I hope the screen is visible. Okay. So I'm going to the next slide. I have already introduced you what is bioprocess technology. Now we are talking about some key aspects. The first aspect was microbial fermentation we have discussed. The next important thing is cell culture technology, which comes under bioprocess. That cell culture technology is one of the key aspects. You need to have an idea about that. The cultivation of animal or plant cell in a controlled environment is known as cell culture technology. Why we are going to do all these things? Because we want to modulate the growth of animal as well as plant in a controlled environment to produce a specific product. So our aim is in bioprocess technology is to produce a good product. For that, we can adopt many processes. One was microbial fermentation. Second, we can adopt cell culture technology. This cell culture technology is often applied in the production of biopharmaceuticals. As an example, we can talk about insulin or monoclonal antibodies. So those things are important and plays a key role nowadays in our pharmaceuticals. So cell culture technology is one of the good key aspects of bioprocess technology. Next, we can talk about downstream processing. So first, microbial fermentation. Second, cell culture technology. Third, I'm talking about downstream processing. What is downstream processing? Like when we perform a process, at the end, everything is there inside one pot. Everything is there inside a bioreactor. Like whatever you have given initial microorganism, the food for the microorganism. Now, what in bioprocess, what we do, we take a bioreactor and we put everything into it. We put everything. What does mean everything? Everything includes microorganism, which is required for the processing. Number two, the nutrients or the food for the microorganism. So we add them over there. So food for the microorganism is called media. Okay. So microorganism, then food for the microorganism, we add into a vessel, which is known as bioreactor. Okay. We put them into the bioreactor. So in this slide, next slide I have given you, you can see these are the steps. Okay. These are the steps of a single bioprocess where you can see that this is a bioreactor. You can see here, these are the bioreactors. Various types of bioreactors are there. So first, this session is all about introduction, application, and like loopholes, how to solve the problem regarding that. In our next session, we are going to discuss about what is bioreactor, what is this upstream processing. All of them we will be discussing in our next session. So today, as it is an introductory session, you can see here that there are many types of bioreactors are there. Yes, we put everything in a bioreactor and then fermentation takes place. Now, what is fermentation? Fermentation means I am adding a microbes, I am adding the food for the microorganism. Now, the microorganism will eat up or utilize this food and produce something beneficial for us. And at the end, I'm going to take out those beneficial things for the mankind. So this is altogether is known as bioprocessing. But one or two things, like many things we have to remember, but the key thing is there that contamination should not be occur over there. So we have to prevent the contamination. We have to take care regarding contamination, because I am working with, suppose, microorganism X. So I want the product from X only. I am not supposed to get many products over there by influence of other contaminants. So I have to take care about utmost care should be taken in the processing, so that no contamination can happen over there. Okay. So we are talking about downstream processing. Like in the vessel, you have given this microorganism, you have given media, and now it is been kept for a long time, so that microorganism can consume it, and then it can produce its product or the component, chemical component into it. Now, at the end of the bioreaction, inside the bioreactor, everything is there. Utilized food, unutilized food. Microorganisms, some of them are dead, some of them are alive. So all those things are there in this bioreactor. Now, at the end, my aim is to fetch out desirable product from there. And that method is called downstream processing. Now, we will talk about an example. Like in a bioreactor, I have given some carbohydrate sources and I have given yeast. Now, carbohydrate source means it is a sugar source. Now, we know that after fermentation, like if we do fermentation of sugar, we get acid and alcohol. So for a beverage or alcohol beverage industry, what is there in? They will create a bioreactor. They will put carbohydrate resources, and then they will put some yeast or Saccharomyces, which will absorb or eat up. We can say eat up those sugars, and eventually they will produce alcohol. So in this example, the product is alcohol. So after the fermentation takes place, we have to separate the alcohol from the mash or from the bioreactor. Inside the bioreactor, what I am having? Inside the bioreactor, I have given carbohydrate resources. So some are utilized, some are unutilized. So those residue are there inside the bioreactor. Yes. Along with that, yeast cells are there. Some are dead, some are live. And along with that, what I am having? I am having that alcohol. So the aim is to separate alcohol. And this method, separating the end product from the whole thing, is known as downstream processing. So this is another key important terminology we need to remember while talking about bioprocess technology. That is downstream processing. Now, downstream processing is not that much easy method. Just you can put your hand and you can take out what you want. That is not that much easy. So the thing is like different unit operations. The word unit operation, different unit operations you are supposed to remember. Those are like many, but we are going to discuss one or two. Like separation. Separation of something from something. So separation is one unit operation. Purification. Purification of the best product from the others. Then recovery of the desired product from the complex mixture, those are under downstream processing. So how can we define downstream processing? Downstream processing can be defined in a manner, the separation, purification, as well as the recovery of the desired product from the complex mixture produced during the bioprocess is known as downstream processing. This step is very crucial to obtain a pure and high quality final product. So downstream processing is one of the most key role player in bioprocessing. Next, we can talk about another terminology or key role playing important word, which is called genetic engineering. Genetic engineering. Now, we have an idea that every cell is having their genetic material inside it, and the genetic material can be DNA or RNA. Now, genetic material is the one of the key role player of that cell. Now, if I want to change the characteristics of that cell, I need to work on its gene structure. But as I'm saying, I need to work on gene structure. It's not that much easy that I will bring a scissor and I will cut some parts of gene and I will put something with the glue, I will add it. No, it's not as simple as like that. There are various cutting edge technologies are there to do all these things. And this comes under recombinant DNA technology, as well as we can say genetic engineering. So what is genetic engineering? Genetic engineering is nothing but the manipulation of the genetic material of the organism to enhance their ability to produce specific substances. So this is the main role. Okay. Now, so we are enhancing the ability of the microorganism. So it comes under upstream processing, or like it called as strain improvement, like which bacterial strain is used for production. I'm improving the strain so that they can produce much product. Okay, as an example, we can say that one student is good in studies and he scored good marks. So if I can give an ambient atmosphere for that student, and if he or she can study more, she will get more good marks. Like we provide ambient situation for the students so that they get good score. Similarly, in this case, we are manipulating or we are creating an environment for the microorganism, or we are changing the genetic material in a manner so that they can produce a much good product at the end. So this is our aim. And genetic engineering is frequently used to create genetically modified organism. Genetically modified organism is termed as GMO. Put it here for improved bioprocessing. So GMO are generally being used for improved bioprocessing. So till now, we have discussed few terminology. We'll do a recapitulation of for that. One is microbial fermentation we have talked about. Another thing is cell culture technology we have discussed. Next, we have discussed about downstream processing. And lastly, we have discussed about genetic engineering. These are key role player. Okay, another thing I forgot, which is a bioreactor. One of the most important thing is bioreactor in bioprocessing. So bioreactors are nothing but the heart of bioprocess technology. It is the heart of bioprocess technology. So a good or a best bioreactor will provide the best product at the end. So we need to talk about bioreactors. Now, what is bioreactor? Bioreactors are nothing but a specialized vessel where bioprocess takes place. So it's a container. It's a container which is sterile in nature, which like in which we can add many things. We can keep them sealed so that no contamination will occur from the outside. And at the end, if we open it and certain steps are being performed, we will get a best final end product. So this is known as like bioreactor. Okay. I have done stop sharing somehow. Just give me a second so that I can start doing one it. Again, sharing. I hope the screen is visible now. Okay. So we are talking about bioreactor. So bioreactor provides a control environment for the growth and activity of the cell, ensuring optimal condition for the production of desired product. So bioprocess industry is mainly related or associated with product, end product. So product related things where biological component are being used are kept under bioprocess technology. Okay. So we have encountered with various terms of bioprocess technology. Now, what are the applications? So if in one line I want to say that from from penicillin to insulin, it has a huge range. Like initially, Penicillium notatum was been identified, and from there penicillin was generated. And nowadays, a life-threatening drug, life-saving drug, life-saving drug, which is insulin, which is being generated using bioprocess technology. So bioprocess technology has a huge scope of application. So this application are sometimes in pharmaceuticals, food, in beverages, in biofuels, in environmental management, and many more. So bioprocess technology, the application is not limited. It has a huge scope of application. It is a versatile field with widespread implication for different sectors. So if anyone is capable to understand the philosophy beneath the bioprocess and capable to understand biology as well as chemistry and certain part of engineering, they can be a master of bioprocess technology. This lesson is being taught under BTech and BSc Biotechnology course. Okay, as well in MSc too. So MSc and MTech. So initially, this subject is a part in BSc Biotechnology and BTech Biotechnology, and the application is huge. So in summary, we can say that bioprocess technology has the power of living organism to perform some specific task on a large scale, which will like contributing to the production of a wide range of product that benefit industries and the society at its largest. So these are the some terminology and introductory area of bioprocess technology. Now, here I have written types of bioprocessing. Types. Like in some, like it is a huge area, and we can divide this bioprocess technology in many categories. In many categories, in many aspects. If we talk about like when we will be using food for the microorganism for bioprocessing, we can divide the whole thing in two categories, like where we can use liquid food for the microorganism and where we can use solid food for the microorganism. One is called stir tank reactions, another is known as solid state fermentation. So there are many methods in which we can divide bioprocess technology. Now here, I have written few things like whole bioprocess technology. If you want to segregate them on processing, the things are like bioprocess technology is a curve-like structure. Initial things is known as upstream processing. The initial thing is known as upstream processing. Then we are supposed to utilize the bioreactor, and at the end, the thing is called downstream processing. Now, what is upstream processing? Upstream processing include few things. Number one, identification for the media, like what food is best for the microorganism to grow. That is called media formulation. Next, what type of microbes or which species of the microbes will work best with this food? So that is selection of microorganism. Now we can go for improvement of the microorganism. Yes, that is called strain improvement. Then while we will create an improved strain, the improved one, while I'm using, can get contaminated. So I need to keep a copy of that in somewhere. So that is known as strain preservation. So strain improvement, strain preservation, media formulation, these are the key role player of upstream processing. And when we are done with all these things, we are supposed to put everything into a bioreactor. As I have already discussed, that bioreactor is nothing but a vessel, where we are going to add all these things together. So that is bioreaction. And after bioreaction, we are going to do downstream processing. And the downstream processing means that we are going to separate our desired product from this mixture. We are going to separate our biomolecules from this mixture. So that is the end or downstream processing. So all the three step upstream processing, bioreaction in bioreactor, and downstream processing. These three steps are most important steps under bioprocessing. You can see a diagrammatic representation I have given over here. First few things, like you can see here, the microorganisms are being prepared, then they are shifted into 50 liters bioreactor, then from a 50-liter bioreactor, they are shifted to 500-liter bioreactor, and then a bigger one. So this one is a final bioreactor where bioreaction is taking place. And from there, you can see that some downstream processing units are being arranged in a manner. So at the end, we can get the end product. Okay, so this is a introductory part of bioprocessing in one slide. Next, application, I have already said few points that there are various area where applications are there. It's not a limited, it has a wide range of direction in which we can utilize bioprocess technology. Example include pharmaceuticals. In pharmaceutical industry, we can use antibiotic production using microbial fermentation, like penicillin production. We can create insulin. So the range is quite high. Next, first pharmaceutical. Next two is food and beverage. Fermentation in production of beer, yogurt, cheese. In this area, microorganism can be utilized for the production of those food and beverage. Again, third and another important direction is known as bioremediation. What is bioremediation? Like the earth is getting polluted by many things. The earth is getting polluted, or we can say our environment is getting polluted by many manner. Now, to remove those pollutants, we can adopt or we can utilize the microorganism to remove those pollutants from the environment. And utilization of biological matter for that is known as bioremediation. Like remediation using bio or microorganism is known as bioremediation. So microorganisms are generally being used to clean up oil spills or a degraded pollutant in environment. That comes under bioremediation. Next, we can talk about another direction which is called biofuel production. Now, biofuel, yes, every day we are using different fuels. Among them, if we talk about biofuel, the ethanol is one of the most popular biofuel which is being utilized. Now, conversion of biomass into biofuel like ethanol through microbial fermentation is quite important, as well as a like challenging area where biofuel production is taking place. So biofuel production is one of the most important application of bioprocess. Next, we can talk about enzyme production. Yes, large scale production of enzyme for various industries like laundry, detergent, or biofuel production. So enzymes are required in many cases. Now, suppose we take an example that we want to create pastries or bread. And for that, we need to have yeast. Now, there should be certain industry which will produce a huge amount of yeast so that bakery industry can utilize. Similarly, we can think about that certain starch, which are not that much easy to degrade. For that starch, we need an enzyme called amylase. So amylase, I need to buy amylase. Suppose I'm working with certain industry where I deal with starch, and I want certain simpler version of starch, that is glucose. Like degraded starch, I need glucose for the microbes, because for them it is easy to consume. So for that, I need a huge amount of amylase. Now, amylase is nothing but an enzyme. So there should be certain industry which will be capable to produce amylase in a large amount. So enzyme production is one of the most critical application. Nowadays, you can see in your laundry detergents, there are granules, different colored granules are there. Those colored granules are nothing but different enzymes, like to remove the lipid or oily things in your clothes. Some lipase enzyme are added. So these are the application of enzyme production in different industries. One example include laundry detergents. Next, we can talk about biopharmaceuticals. Biopharmaceuticals, example, production of therapeutic protein like insulin using genetically modified cells. So biopharmaceuticals is another part of application. Then waste treatment. Yes, waste water as well as solid waste treatment can be done using bioprocess technology. Microbial treatment or organic waste in sewage treatment plants can be they can be degraded using this bioprocess technology using certain microorganisms. The products next example can include bioplastic production, like certain microorganisms can be utilized to produce biodegradable plastics. It's now in trend because plastics are very difficult to degrade nowadays. People are thinking that if we can invent something like have the capability of plastic to utilize and the degradation power, like it can be degraded by the microorganism within certain period, that will be the best, because plastics are very good, efficient, but they takes a huge time to degrade. So to degrade them is one of the difficult thing. But if we can invent something which is have the characteristics of plastic in beneficial manner, and that can be degraded also very easily. So that thing is called bioplastic. So bioplastic is one of the most important application. Even in case of vaccine production or vaccine development, bioprocess technologies plays a key role. As you can all remember, during COVID time, that new vaccine has to be produced in a large manner. So bioprocess involved the production of vaccine against various disease. As an example, you can talk about disease like COVID-19. So vaccine development, yes, some people will design the vaccine, some people will do and testing and all, but the large scale production should be done using bioprocess technology. And the next one, so there are many, but we are talking about 10 applications. The 10th one is agricultural application. Use of bioprocess to enhance the soil fertility or to control pest in agriculture plays nowadays a key role. So recapitulating once again, what are the applications? Number one, we can talk about pharmaceuticals. Number two, we can talk about food and beverage. Number three, we can call bioremediation. Four, biofuel production. Next, we can talk about enzyme production. Biopharmaceutical, as an example, we can talk about insulin. Next, we can talk about waste treatment, bioplastic production, vaccine development, agricultural application. So, as initially I have said, that bioprocess technology has a wide range of product that benefit the industries and society in its largest. So that means bioprocess technology, if you study bioprocess technology, the scope of getting job or the scope of doing research in various ways is open to you. So bioprocess is one of the key role player, or we can say it's a game changer under biotechnology. So next we are going to discuss about like challenges. Yes, every process have certain challenges. Bioprocess also have certain challenges, which include that contamination. As I have said initially, that contamination is one of the most important point which we have to take care. So if there is any contamination, the whole thing goes in vain. Scalability, like in a small scale, it is okay. I can cook for 4 people, but if I invite 40 people, it's impossible for me to cook the same tasty food. Yes, it is called scalability. For small scale, yes, it has been perfect, but for large scale, it's sometimes difficult. So this is called scalability. So scalability is one of the challenge in bioprocessing. And other regulatory compliances are also plays an important role in the bioprocess challenges. Okay. Next, we'll be discussing about innovations in bioprocessing. Yes. Nowadays, people want more. Yes. Uh, like we want something extra. In every cases, we want something extra. If we go for a fuchka stall, after 3 or 4 fuchka, which has been marked under 10 rupees, then also we go for one extra. So people want certain points or certain thing extra. Now, initially in old days, people used to oil their hair with mustard oil, coconut oil. Nowadays, like we want, yes, I'm going to use coconut oil, which will have all the benefit of coconut, but it should not smelly like old chipchipa style coconut oil. It should have some good smell. So nowadays, people use some oils for hair, which is having the benefit of all those ancient things, but it has to be very lightweight. It has a very good smell like jasmine. So jasmine flavored coconut oil is there. So that means people are asking for something extra. So beyond the basic thing, I want something extra. So innovation in bioprocess generally gives you that extra. Like CRISPR technology, CRISPR, CRISPR technology can be utilized. In our next session, we are going to discuss about CRISPR technology. CRISPR technology or those kind of technology can be adopted in bioprocessing to enhance the efficiency of the microorganism in a genetic level so that they can produce more good product or more beneficial product for mankind. So innovation is always accepted, or we can say innovation is one of the key role player under bioprocessing technology. Like bioprocessing is a mandatory things. You cannot live your life without those products. Like you need to use paste in the morning. You need to use soap. You need to get bread in the morning. Then we go for rice and brinjals, BT brinjal and all. So at the end, sometimes you need to have certain medicines. So every day in your life, you are using some product of bioprocess technology. And innovation under bioprocess technology is one of the important area. So in this session, I would like to conclude that bioprocessing is a rapidly growing field with numerous applications and potential for sustainable solution. Nowadays, we are aware about sustainability, how to create sustainable thing which is not harmful for the environment. These things are important nowadays. So bioprocess technology can help us doing this. So knowledge in bioprocess will help you out to think wisely, to choose this sustainable method. Okay. So several challenges are there. Recent innovations are there. But if we put bioprocess, or we can contribute to explore the possibilities of bioprocessing, we can look forward to a future shaped by its transformative potential. That means if we can utilize bioprocessing in a wise manner, we can create a more sustainable earth for the next generation. Thank you. In our next session, we are going to discuss more about bioprocess technology. Thank you. I will stop sharing the slide over here, and bye-bye.